Hello everyone, welcome back to YouVoluntear. My name is Devin. It is Art Week, and I'd like to have a little discussion with you about art and art availability. So it's the 21st century right now, but let's go back. I'd like you to imagine a time before the internet. I know, it's a scary thought. We all are so used to the internet being everywhere around us, but there was a time, oh so many years ago, when the internet did not exist. Back in this dinosaur time before the internet, when our access to entertainment was not always available, people had to actually make an effort to go out and view art. Now, for the purpose of this discussion, when I say art, I mean music, I mean theater, I mean performance or exhibition of any kind, paintings, sculptures, any of that sort of stuff. If the local jug band was playing down at Ye Olde Tavern on Friday night, you would actually have to get up out of your home, go to some place to see the jug band. This meant that art was not something that was consumed passively, it was something that people had to actually take agency to go and see. And while back in, say, Renaissance times, there was high art for the people who had a lot of money who could pay to see the best of the best, and low art, like the aforementioned jug band, there was always this sense of you had access to this art only if the artist wanted you to. The limiting factor was that you actually had to be in the same room as the art that you wanted to enjoy in order to enjoy it. So I think you can see where I'm going here now, is that we fast forward to today, to right now, art is infinitely more accessible, and with that accessibility comes, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, you can debate this however much you want, but a devaluation of art. Now, do we as a culture necessarily think that art is less worthy of attention, less worthy of praise? That's a little bit debatable, but the one thing we can agree on is that art is harder to monetize now because it's so easy to get it without paying for it. Because of the advent of recorded sound, we now have access to music everywhere, and we can look at paintings online, we can watch recordings of theatrical performances, whatever we want, all on platforms that don't actually require us to pay to use them. I mean, of course, you do pay to get to the internet, so that's a form of entry, but that barrier of entry is a lot lower than, say, if you wanted to go see a symphony show. It cost you $80 to see a single night's performance. Now, I went to school for music, and I have been on the receiving end of the devaluation of art, because people kind of just assume that you do it for free. I mean, I hear Taylor Swift at the supermarket for free, why can't you play this show for free? Why can't you design the graphic logo for my website for free? The number one thing that comes up when people are trying to devalue your art is that you should do it for the exposure. Which means that for people who are actually trying to make their living doing artistic endeavors, that this constant idea that exposure is the most important thing can actually be detrimental, because it means that you're not actually getting value for the thing you put a lot of time and effort into making. The exposure argument also hinges on the fact that most people assume that you're doing music or theater or art to become famous. A lot of people don't necessarily want to become millionaire, top 40 famous, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to make their living doing the thing that they love. And it's actually hard because we all feel the stretch of the budget. You're paying rent, you got groceries, maybe you got kids to feed, you don't have as much money to spend on entertainment, so you're going to do what you can to cut costs, right? If you don't have to spend $7 on your Netflix payment, you can just download it off the internet for free, why wouldn't you do that? And you have to acknowledge that in some way that's a reality of a situation that can't be ignored. The thing you can't forget is that when you're doing these type of things, you are not supporting the creators. And if the creators of the content that you like are not supported monetarily, then they won't be able to make more content. It's an issue that doesn't have an easy solution, and I certainly don't know the answer, but I think that people will be well serviced to at least know and be aware of the effect that they're having when they choose not to pay for things. I'm not free of guilt in this matter, but I do think that people should take some more time to think about it, and perhaps if they value something, they should pay for it.